150,000. It's with the advanced bidder from Switzerland. I heard Annie first, 160,000 now on my left at 160,000. Bids with Annie, the advance is out. Switzerland, join live if you're able at $160,000. That is with Annie, ahead of you, Rebecca, at 160,000. Fair warning here. At 160,000, Annie, it's with you, two in Switzerland. Last chance here. Last chance to my right as well at 150,000. Sold to you, Annie. Paddle 5066. Here 5026. You have it. 5071. Join live if you can. 5026 has it. At 5026 and 300,000 is bid. It's here. This will be fair warning elsewhere. Still with 5026. Last chance at 300,000. Bids in the book. Sold 300,000. Paddle 5026. Congratulations to you. And here for the oil and plaster on canvas. Let's open up already at 250,000, 280,000. I'm bid. Paddle 5004 at 280,000. To our other bidders, two in Brazil, please join live. I'm at 280,000 already. Again, paddle 5004 has it at 280,000. Coming in, not yet, at 280,000, quite sure. At 280,000, bids in the book. Last chance on my right, last chance live. Again, the bids here and selling if we go no further. $280,000. Here with paddle 5004, ahead of our phones. At 280,000, and bids in the book. Last chance to the room, last chance live, 280,000. Sold, 220,000, 240,000, 260, 80, 300,000, and I round out at 310,000, which I will take. That's in the book. I see you trying to come in at 320,000. I'd love to bring that to the table. I'm at 310,000 here. At 310,000, that's paddle 5033, and 320,000 is now back live. So paddle 7252 coming from Brazil today has it at 320,000, 350,000. There we go. I do love a proper increment. Thank you so much. At 350,000. So it's ahead of you in Brazil. We'll be looking for 380,000 next if you're able. 350,000 is bid on my right at 350,000 now. Again, the book is cleared. We're at 350,000, 380,000. Welcome back. At 380,000, you have your bid. And now it means it's ahead of our phone lines. 400,000. Continuing on. At 400,000 now. Back on my right. Ahead of you in Brazil, we're at 400,000. This was Sophia. At $400,000 at 3:09 this afternoon. Brazil, now's the time. Again, we're at 400,000. Bids with Sophia. Fair warning here and no regrets as we move along at $400,000. Still on my right, still with you, Sophia. Brazil, this is fair warning and last chance at 400,000. Bids on my right. Sold to you, Sophia. Paddle 5033, 400,000. Ahead of you both on my right, also ahead of my left at $350,000. At 350,000 only. Again, Firelei, it's ahead of you. It's ahead of everyone coming through live. At 350,000, 380,000, it's yours. At 380,000, then it's with Firelei. Bids on my right, again ahead of my left, still ahead of you all live. At $380,000. Again, with Firelei, ahead of you, Marianne. 390,000. Because you're wearing such a delightful blue. Yes. Bringing a smile to my face. 390,000. Firelei, quite sure. Another 10 is not enticing to that phone line. At 390,000. Fair warning here. Bids on my right. 390,000. Last chance to my left. Last chance live. Sold. 390,000. Congratulations, paddle. 1032. 16, 17,000 now. At 17,000. Again, these are for the 5 works. 17,000 only. Ahead of you, Camilla. Ahead of everyone live in the room. 18,000. Welcome. I've got 18,000 here. It's 19,000 is next. Ladies bid at 18,000. 19,000. Again, for the 5 works, 20,000. Back in the room, ahead of each Milla, still ahead of my right. We're at 20,000 now. At 20,000, quite sure. Ladies bid then, we're at 20,000. Last chance on my right, last chance live, 20,000, still with you now. Sold 20,000, paddle 195. And bids in the book, ahead of my left, ahead of you all live. And for $85,000. This will be fair warning to those phones at 85,000, 90,000. Annie, there you are. 95,000, back of the book. At 95,000, 100,000, 110,000. At 110,000, 120,000, 130,000. I have 140,000, so I'd be looking for 150,000 next. Again, 140,000 already here, it's in the book. At 140,000, 150,000, that clears the bid. It's now on my left, it's with Annie's phone line. We're at 150,000, paddle 5023, you're out. Join live now if you're able. At 150,000, the bid is on my left, it's with you, Annie. At 150,000, last chance elsewhere. Sold to you, Annie, and that's paddle 5034. 120,000, 240,000 now. At 240,000, 250,000. Can we do 260,000? At 240,000, 260,000. Thank you, Patricia. Bids with you now. At $260,000. Bids with you, Patricia. Ahead of my right, and we're on my left with Patricia's phone line at 260,000. Patricia, still with you. Last chance globally, 260,000. Sold to you, Patricia. Paddle 1038. And again, that was 260,000. And for lot number 322, the Richard Prince, we open up with my bidder, 480,000 it is. At 480,000, bids in the book, the bid is here. At 500,000, 550,000, still here. At 550,000. And the bid is with me. It's ahead of the sale room, ahead of you all live. We're already at $550,000, and 600,000 goes to Firelei. That clears what's in front of me. Bids are live at 600,000.
Bidder online.
It's with you at 600,000, and now ahead of you at 650,000. So we'll need one more. We're at 650,000, quite sure. Bids in Michigan, that's ahead of you, Firelei. Ahead of my left. Again, with you in Michigan, $650,000. Fair warning here, Firelei. At 650,000, last chance to come in. Michigan, it's with you at $650,000. Sold to you, Michigan. Going to paddle number 7148. Congratulations. All right, lot number 323, Jonas Wood. This is one of his defining early self-portraits from 2009, and for the oil on canvas, will open at 200,000, 220,000 now ahead of the room. At 220,000 already. At 220,000. Looking for 250,000 next if we can. At 220,000. At 220,000. At 220,000, ahead of you live, ahead of the room. At 220,000, 250,000, coming through live, ahead of the phones now. At 250,000. For the Jonas Wood, we're at 250,000, coming through. Welcome back, Washington. At 250,000, ahead of our phones on either side. Fair warning here, Tamila. Same to you, Rebecca. At 250,000, no regrets. At 250,000, last chance here, Rebecca. 250,000, then all through Washington. It's with you for the Jonas Wood. Sold to $100,000. And the bid is here. It's ahead of the sale room, ahead of those phones on either side. We're at 100,000. At 100,000. Getting back with the book. At 100,000, paddle 5019. Last chance on my right. Last chance on my left. At $100,000. This is the book and selling then. sold, 100,000. Paddle 5019. Lot 325 is up next. This is the first of the works by KAWS this afternoon. And we'll start with CHUM, Houston Street. This is the acrylic on paper. Lot 325. Lot 325, just giving a minute here for a quick refresh. And then we'll open 325. The right people are working on it for me. Again, lot 324 just closed, just sold up $100,000. We're about to open our works by KAWS. I'll take the note. Thank you so much. Excellent. And I'll get a thumbs up here momentarily, I'm sure, but I got the thumbs up. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Julia. Appreciate that. All right, so here we go. KAWS, lot 325. And again, CHUM, Houston Street. Let's open up 160,000 here. At 160,000, 170,000, 180,000. At 180,000, still ahead of the room. At 180,000, and for the first by KAWS this afternoon. At $180,000. This is now fair warning at 180,000 only. At 180,000, last chance to my right, last chance to my left, Camilla. At $180,000. All through from everyone joining globally as well at 180,000. Next, 200,000, 220,000, 240, 260, $280,000 is bid. This is going to paddle 999. We'll see if anyone wants to go first. 280,000 is here. Unless Ferguson. We're coming in at $280,000. So it'll be fair warning to your phone lines at 280,000. Again, for the KAWS, the bid is in the book. Paddle 999 has it currently. 280,000.
290.
Fair warning, 290,000. Welcome, sir. Of course, 290,000. Thank you so much. That clears everything here. At 290,000, gentlemen's bid in the room, ahead of you, Ferguson. $290,000. Last chance elsewhere. Thanks, Ferguson. Thanks on my left as well. Sir, the bid is with you for the KAWS. 290,000. Sold to you in the room. 290,000. Congratulations. And that is paddle 113. Thank you. And please note, it's very important to those of you considering your shipping options. It will ship from Tallahassee, Florida. So if you're in Florida, perhaps this makes it easier for you. Join us on the lot. This is 328 the Benet, and we'll open with my bidder. It's with the advance at 130,000. At 130,000, 140,000, 150,000. Already back here at 150,000. Then back here, the bid is with the advance. It's ahead of the phones on either side. We're at $150,000, 160,000. Welcome, Spain. That's ahead of you in Aspen. 170,000. That was my bidder. We'll see what happens next at 170,000. It is back with our original advance bidder coming through from New York. We're at 170,000, 180,000. Aspen, you're in. 190,000. Back with the advance. Still ahead of you, Rebecca. At $190,000. Ahead of you yet in Aspen, same to you in Spain. We're at 190,000. Fair warning here. At 190,000, the bid is with the advance. Aspen, you're back. 200,000 is bid. Welcome at 200,000. 220,000 though. Back with the advance again. At 220,000, ahead of you in Aspen, still ahead of the sailor. At $220,000, the bid is with the advance. Aspen, join us for another. At $220,000, still ahead of you in Aspen, still ahead of you in Spain. At 220,000, and you're back. 240,000 is bid. 260,000 to the advance again. At 260,000. Again, ahead of you in Aspen. We're at 260,000. Bids coming through with the advance, coming from New York. Ahead of you in Spain as well, 260,000. Fair warning here at 260,000. Aspen, last chance. Same to you in Spain at 260,000. The bid is with the advance and selling. No regrets. Sold 260,000. Going to paddle 7247. 1986, where we open with significant interest again today. And I'm already at 280,000. At 280,000, 300,000, 320,000, 350,000, all with competing bids, and I top out at 360,000, which I will accept. Again, 360,000 is here. That's going with paddle 6004. My other bidders, you are out. Please join if you're able at 360,000. The bid is here and in the book at $360,000. At 360,000. Fair warning, then on my left, same to my right, 380,000, welcome from France. I'm cleared, it's your bid at $380,000. The bid is in France. Again, everyone in the book, all the absentees, all the priority bids, you're out, 380,000, 7020. You have it at $380,000. Last chance again, France, the bid's with you, and all through elsewhere, 380,000. Sold to you in France. And again, paddle 7020. Thanks for joining us today. To our other bidders, please join live. We're at 100,000, 5063. You have it currently, and at $100,000. This is for the Tracy M and for the Neon. At $100,000. At 100,000. Fair warning here. At 100,000. Bids in the book. 100,000. Last chance. No regrets. 110,000. Welcome from France. That clears everything here. It's with you in France at $110,000. Again, my bidders are out, 5063, 5071. That means both of you. The bids are live. We're at $110,000. Last chance elsewhere. France, you have it for the Neon at $110,000. All through here. Sold 110,000. Congratulations, France. That means it's ahead of you, Meaty. The bids here are cleared. We're at 125,000. With Patricia's phone, 130,000. Meaty, you're in. At 130,000 now. Quite sure. Thank you to your phone line, Patricia. Meaty, it's with you. At 130,000 for the Walker. Last chance here. At 130,000. Sold. Paddle 5009. Congratulations. My right as well, and ahead of everyone live for the Guyton. We're at $100,000. Fair warning here on either side. Last chance to everyone joining globally at 100,000. Bids in the book. Sold 100,000. Florida, it's with you. Ahead of you in China, ahead of you, Matt. Scott, same with you. Annie at $110,000. Fair warning at 110,000. Last chance here, Matt. Last chance on my left as well. To you in China, no regrets. We've come this far at $110,000. Still with you in Florida, 115,000. We have come quite a way, haven't we? I will absolutely take 115,000. 2 in Florida, 2 in China. To everyone on my left, another 5 if you'd like. 115,000. We'll see if that's appealing. Matt, it's with you at $115,000. At 115,000. Fair warning again on my left. Matt, it's with your phone line. Florida, you're back. 120,000 is bid. 120,000. Florida, you're back. Thank you. Ahead of you in China. At 120,000, I'll look to my left just in case. Matt, what'll it be? At 120,000, last chance. Bids in Florida. All through from my left here. All through from China as well. Florida is still with you. No regrets, Matt, at $120,000. Sold to you in Florida at $120,000. Thank you all so much for your phone lines. Thank you to you in China as well. 7323. You have it. 100,000. And 100,000. The bid is here, still ahead of the room. We're at $100,000. 100,000. Last chance on my left. Last chance on my right. Florida, you're in. 110,000. That clears what's here. 5062. You're out. Florida, you're in. 110,000. 120,000. Ladies bid now. Thank you so much. At 120,000. The bid is seated. 130,000 now ahead of you. Continuing on from Florida. 140,000. Back in the room for 140,000. 150,000. One more. At 150,000. I'll do another 5 because I've been generous to the room today if you'd like. We're at 150,000. Thank you so much for coming in. Bids in Florida. Last chance here, last chance to the room. 150,000 is the bid. It's in Florida and selling there if we go no further at 150,000. Sold to you in Florida, and that's paddle number 7284. 130,000 now at 130,000. At 130,000, 135,000. At 138,000, 140,000. Still continuing at 140,000. Still ahead of the room. 150,000 now. At 150,000. Any further advance at $150,000. Again, for the Mike Kelly at 150,000. Fair warning and last chance to the sale room as well at $150,000. All through and no regrets. And last chance to my left at 150,000. 150,000, 5,000, 70,000 back here, 75,000 to you, Yusuf. That clears the advance interest from Switzerland. We're at 75,000. Bids with Yusuf ahead of you, Blake, at 75,000. We'll see who's next at 75,000. Again, the bid is with Yusuf. 80,000 now with Blake ahead of you, Yusuf. At 80,000, 85,000, continuing on live. Welcome, New York. That's ahead of our phone banks here on Park Avenue. We're at 85,000. At 85,000. Fair warning, 85,000. New York has it. Yusuf, Blake, last chance. At $85,000. New York, it's with you. 85,000. Sold, 85,000. Going to paddle number 744.
And for the mixed media on canvas, let's start here. Just 75,000 ahead of you online. At 75,000, 80,000, 85,000 ahead of you on either side. At 85,000, 90,000, 95 now. At 95,000, who's coming in? At 95,000, it's not yours on Phillips.com. At 95,000. This will be fair warning for the Fisher. Now is the time to jump in here at 95,000. No regrets here for the Fisher at 95,000. Let's pass at 95. Moving on now to lot 381. This is the Alec Monopoly Skeleton Monopoly bag. And we can start here. Interest I have in the book at 110,000 to start us off here. At 110,000, 120,000, 130,000. Bids in the book with the priority bidder at 130,000, 140,000, 150,000. Just ahead of you on my left at 150,000 for the painted Birkin bag. At 150,000, bids with the priority bidder here in the book at 150,000 ahead of you online. Now's the time at $150,000. Fair warning, last chance here. Bids in the book and selling at 150,000. Sold at 150,000 to paddle 5080 at 40,000, 42,000, 45,000 ahead of you, Vivian. At 45,000, 48,000, 50,000 now. At 50,000 ahead of your phone line, John. At 50,000, who's jumping in next? Yusuf is 55,000. It's yours. At 55,000, it's Yusuf's bid on my left. Just ahead of our competing phone bidders here. At 55,000, it's Yusuf's bid ahead of you online. And selling here if we go no further at 55,000. It's Yusuf's bid. We'll give you a moment to consider online, but at 55,000, all yours, Yusuf. Last chance online at 55,000. Bids with you and selling. Sold at 55,000.